I'm Eric Novak, and these are 10 things to know about the 2020 Mitsubishi RVR. While not entirely an all-new design, the 2020 Mitsubishi RVR, or Outlander Sport as it's known in the US, does have a few notable enhancements overall. On the outside, there are a number of visual changes to the RVR that do give it a noticeable new appearance. Most striking is the new front grille, which is inspired by Mitsubishi's dynamic shield front design concept. The deeper hood combined with the quite distinctive LED lighting layout certainly is a far better front design than before. Mitsubishi has added 3 new colors as well, including Red Diamond, which I drove back in late fall, and Sunshine Orange, which looks pretty good on this GT trim tester I'm driving. Looking now at the interior of the 2020 RVR, in a word, it's basic. We're not looking at everything here that is over the top. There's nothing very elaborate or fancy. It's functional and basic. Your information here on your drivers, your analog readouts for speed, your tachometer are simple. You've got a small 4-inch screen in the middle that's digital and customizable for things like your fuel economy and trip meter as well. You move to the center stack. You've got your climate controls are old school round rotary knobs. And it's good because there is that tactile interface, but there's no dual zone climate control. So you're going to find a temperature that works for everybody, set it, and you're going to have to live with it. Your heated seat buttons are directly below that, which is fine. You've got high and low, nothing else. There's no midsection, no 4 or 3 levels, no cooled seats in this vehicle either, just heated or not. Your heated steering wheel button is on the other side to the left of your steering wheel, so it's not too hard to reach. USB inputs beside the heated seat buttons, and that is to connect your smartphone for charging, as well as connecting with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, both of which are compatible here. And that's good because there is no built-in GPS map function here with the RVR. So if you want navigation, you're going to have to connect through your smartphone. Now having said that, the center touchscreen that is your infotainment source and your basic connector, there's a couple concerning things that I have about it. Number one, that aside from the volume knob and the tuning knob, everything else is flat and touch point. So it's difficult sometimes if you're looking for the home button or you're trying to program your stations or select them if you are using that, because it's all flat. I wish there were more tactile buttons, at least for a couple of other key things that you would use. The other thing that concerns me is the fact that it is angled slightly outward. It is not vertical, and why that's a concern is because it becomes susceptible to glare. I had discovered just the other day when I was driving my son up north to see a college he wanted to look at, that it was a sunny day and I had my Android Auto plugged in. I'm trying to rely on the maps, but I couldn't see it because the glare from in almost any direction was making it difficult. So that is a concern. It can be rectified in the future by making this screen more vertical, or at least putting some sort of an awning type of canopy over top, just slightly to block the glare. And actually, in terms of overall seating and comfort, this is a smaller interior. So in terms of legroom, if you like your legs stretched out, you are going to be a little bit pressed. There's not a multiplicity of seating adjustments on this GT trim. I think it's about 8-way different adjustable. So I found there's no lumbar adjustment. And that's one area that I had some concerns with. The chair is otherwise comfortable. Seating in the back, this is a small size SUV, so the amount of space is recognizing of that. It's fine. My kids haven't complained too much about being in the back there. But back to the original point I made earlier on about the glare. I think one of the reasons why you're getting a susceptibility to glare, which is something unique on this GT trim, and something that I wouldn't normally point out as an individual thing to know, but I am in this case, and that's the opening up above. Now, when I say opening up above, this is not a convertible, this is not a cabriolet, but what I'm referring to is the on the GT trim, they have this very large panoramic moonroof, and it really is different, I think, than some of the moonroofs you see on other vehicles. And one of the reasons why I believe is because, to my estimation, it takes up probably 80 or 90% of the overall roof area. And another thing that's noticeably different about it is, at least that I find, a lot of these panoramic moonroofs, if you're driving, you don't necessarily see or feel it because the way, how far the glass roof comes forward. In this case, in the RVR, I can, sitting in a normal driving position, it's visible through my peripheral vision. So I literally can see above that I'm open as well as around, and it just gives this big feeling of openness. It seems that, again, a lot of moonroofs that you see in other cars benefit people in the second row, but not so much up front. In this case, it definitely adds to the openness. And another neat little thing about this large moonroof, and it is a carryover from the previous RVR, if you have this moonroof on the GT trim, there's also these track lights that illuminate at night along the left and right, or the driver and passenger sides. There's no real functional purpose to it, but it's aesthetic and it's kind of cosmetic, you could say, but I like it. It's got this neat little effect to it, and it's really actually one of my favorite features in the overall design of this RVR. Cargo capacity for the RVR is about on par with its competitors in this category. You'll get 21.7 cubic feet of space behind the second row, but that reduces to 20.1 cubic feet if you opt for the upgraded sound system with subwoofer. Now, I was able to fit my usual 3 grocery bins with little difficulty in the back, and also managed to get a series of travel bags that my kids were using into the back of my GT Tester with no difficulty as well. There is, however, no power liftgate option offered with the RVR. The 2020 RVR offers 2 engine options depending on trim level. The base is a 2-liter 16-valve 4-cylinder engine that provides 148 horsepower and 145 pound-feet of torque. Upper-tiered models like my GT Tester are powered by a larger 2.4-liter variant, and it puts out 168 horsepower and 167 pound-feet of torque. Both engines are matted to a CVT transmission. Front-wheel drive is offered on the base ES and mid-range SE trim levels, and only with the 2-liter engine, but most buyers will likely opt for the all-wheel drive control system and the larger 2.4-liter engine. Now, neither engine option will inspire you, but they'll get the job done, and they'll do so with reasonable fuel consumption numbers. Combined fuel economy numbers, according to Mitsubishi, are 8.8 liters per 100 kilometers or 26.7 US miles per gallon for the 2-liter engine with front-wheel drive, and 9.2 liters per 100 kilometers or 25.6 US miles per gallon with all-wheel control. For the 2.4-liter engine, combined numbers are 9.4 liters per 100 kilometers or 25 US mpg. And the last thing to know about this 2020 Mitsubishi RVR are my thoughts. Now, overall, this was not a big dramatic redesign. The basic exterior is the same, the engine and drivetrain, although I do like the new front end of this RVR. Inside, it's generally basic, and what we have in a total package is an entry-level starting point, small SUV that is budget friendly. It's not overly technical. If you don't need a lot of bells and whistles but want a vehicle with good all-wheel drive, a decent warranty, and basic amenities that are reliable and functional, this might be the vehicle for you. It's not going to wow you, but it's not going to disappoint you either. That's it for these 10 things to know about the 2020 Mitsubishi RVR. I'm Eric Novak. Thanks for watching. There's plenty of ways for you to keep connected with me, so check out some of my social media links, suggested videos, and I'd really love it if you subscribe to my YouTube channel.